YouTube, it's me, Robert Holloway. Um, I had to take a little bit of time to calm down a little bit because of what I heard of what happened to, well, one of our government buildings. Um, have you ever heard of a couple of kids who destroyed their own home because they didn't get what they want for their birthday? They were so spoiled that when their birthday came around, they they didn't get what they wanted, and as a result, they destroyed their own home. And now the neighbors know all about these children, and they, of course, you can imagine how they treated them. But the parents were so embarrassed, so ashamed of their children because of what they did, and the whole neighborhood knows about it. If you are an American, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This attack against one of our government buildings that held both the Republican and the Democratic Senates was attacked, and as a result, some had died. Now, this is not the September 11th incident, although that was also an embarrassment too. But for ages, we have been trying to convince other countries that democracy is such a good idea and that every country should follow suit. That day, we just proved to the world that we were full of shit. I have never imagined being so embarrassed of being an American until that day. It was, it was, it was, it's an embarrassment. I mean, that's all I can say about it. It was a complete embarrassment because the whole world looked at us. Some of them may laugh, like Russia and China and whatnot, because we're trying to convince the whole world that democracy is strong, that it means something. But that day, we proved we were liars. We proved we were hypocrites. We proved that we were contradictory. That was fucking embarrassing. It was so embarrassing. I wish I wasn't. I did not have American running in me at all. And then not all of them, but some of the Republicans wanted to blame Antifa. Antifa. Let me tell you about Antifa. They have the right to protest of what they're trying to claim. They are against fascism. That's what Antifa means. Antifa is anti-fascism. These Trump supporters, let's face it, that's what they were. These Trump supporters would rather would rather praise a man than their own country, than their own democracy. Have you forgotten what it is to be an American? Have you forgotten the integrity of the American flag? And to have the audacity to use the Confederate flag. The Confederate flag supports slavery. The American flag supports freedom. They're two opposite things, people. And I don't know if you guys know this, but the American flag should not be restraint. It is a flag that represents freedom. Therefore, it should never be restrained. It shouldn't be hanging on as curtains. It shouldn't be worn as clothing. It shouldn't be used as rugs. Those are restraint positions. The American flag is supposed to be waving in the air because that is what it means. It means freedom. The Confederate flag, you can use that bullshit on anything. You could hug, embrace, faggotize the fucking Confederate flag because it means slavery. But then again, why should anybody be surprised? You Trump supporters probably support Robert Lee, a traitor to America. And you say this is our history. Well, let me tell you something about your history. You fuckers lost. So get over it. The same goes with Trump. That orange orangutan son of a bitch lost. Fair and square. And it wasn't because if the dead could vote, they would probably vote for Biden anyway because, Trump wanted to downplay coronavirus. So yeah, if I died with corona, I would probably vote for anybody except for that son of a bitch. This asshole ordered pepper spray to be sprayed on innocent people that were protesting against him, just so he could cross the street and carry a Bible in his fucking hand, acting like he's all Christian. Well, you know what, you son of a bitch? You just proved that Christianity is hypocrites, just like you just proved that America are hypocrites. All you Trump supporters out there, you should be ashamed of yourself. Because not only did you embarrass yourself, you embarrassed all of us. All of us. The Republicans, the Democrats, and the Independents. You embarrassed all of us. And all for what? For one man. For one fucking man. That can't even be worthy to be called a man. He was a mistake 4 years ago, and he was a mistake all those years. I thought I already calmed down. Usually I'm usually calm and collective and very patient. But this I can't tolerate stupidity. I can't tolerate ignorance. Now I try to ignore it because hey, people are fucking stupid. But you can't ignore it forever if it's infesting your country, your world. This is why I think education is so vital. Every state has two senates in it, and they represent the people of the state that they're representing. They're representing the people that live in those states. Now, I live in Indiana. I have two senates that are Republicans. And yes, the state I'm living in is a red state. It is Republican state. And I'm embarrassed about that too, but that's a completely different story. That's more like a very bad joke. What these Trump supporters did, I can't find words for it. It's it's fucking embarrassing. You attacked a building that represents America, a proud building, and it's not some kind of building that is closed to locked up away from society. You can visit this building if you wanted to. You vandalized and harassed the people that are fighting for that advocates for democracy. Now, when I was in another country, it was embarrassing that they heard news that was here in America. They heard about how schools, public schools, are not safe when it comes to guns. That people will shoot and kill each other just because they look at them in a different way. I mean, you have the Crips and the Bloods that's killing each other because of what? The color of that rag that they have? I mean, that's kind of retarded, don't you think? And then you say Black Lives Matter. Tell those fuckers to prove it. But the point is, I don't know what the point is anymore. I mean, I could tell you what America stands for, but that's like telling you a fantasy story. Because you Trump supporters, you made it clear that democracy is full of shit. And don't blame Antifa for this shit because they had nothing to gain out of this. You listen to a man who has conned you in so many ways, and you want to advocate for this one single man that's probably going to ditch us when Biden becomes president. I mean, from what I heard, he's going where? Switzerland? But Switzerland don't want his ass. I don't blame Switzerland. I wouldn't want his ass in here either. So his best bet is in Russia, where he could suck on Putin's dick all he wants. Or maybe uh, Kim Jong Un or whatever the fuck his name is. I even tried making jokes out of this. I mean, when I heard the news, I was upset. I was embarrassed. But I was also singing this song. Do 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 do. You know the theme song from America's Funniest Videos? Because it is funny. It's a fucking joke of what you people, you Trump supporters, have done to us. To all Americans. I'm just hoping for January 20th to come around right now. I wish tomorrow was January 20th. Just to get this son of a bitch out of that house. Out of the White House. Bye. Alright, that's all I have to say.